Listen, all you people, try and understand. You may be a soldier, woman, child, or man, but there won't be many coming home. No, there won't be many coming home. Oh, there won't be many, maybe 10 out of 20, but there won't be many coming home. Now the old folks will remember on that dark and dismal day how their hearts were choked with pride as their children marched away. Now the glory is all gone, they are left alone, and there won't be many coming home. No, there won't be many coming home. Oh, there won't be many, maybe 5 out of 20, but there won't be many coming home. Look real closely at the soldier coming at you through the haze. He may be the younger brother who ran away. And before you kill another, listen to what I say. Oh, there won't be many coming home. Oh, there won't be many coming home. Oh, there won't be many. There may not be any, but there won't be many coming home. If they all came back but one, he was still some mother's son. And there won't be many coming home. Oh, there won't be many coming home. Oh, there won't be many coming home. Oh, there won't be many coming home.
I saw her sitting in a barroom in that smoky atmosphere. She smiled back at me as I drank down one last beer. She pulled me on the dance floor. We danced a song or two. It was then I realized that I bit off more than I could chew. I think I'm dancing with a man. She's got calluses on her hand. She's got a voice like Johnny Cash. Is she hiding a mustache? I think I'm dancing with a man. We sit down and talked a while, and we listened to the band. And a friend of mine walked by, and he asked her if she'd dance. Then he gently took her hand, and he twirled around and round. It looked like he was having fun, until her skirt fell to the ground. I think he's dancing with a man. The boys at the lodge won't understand. As they two-step across the floor, I quickly headed for the door. I think he's dancing with a man. Good Lord, we're dancing with a man. It'll be known throughout the land. Boys from Texas dance a jig with a dude who wore a wig. We've been She crushed a beer can on her head. Good Lord, her forehead's red. We've been dancing with a damn big band.
On the day that Maggie died, she brought me by her side. She willed to me her old flannin drawers. They were tattered, they were torn around the waistline, they were worn. Them bloody flannin drawers that Maggie wore. 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 Them old flannin drawers that Maggie wore. They were tattered, they were torn around the waistline, they were worn. Them bloody flannin drawers that Maggie wore. When she hung them on the line, sure the sun refused to shine near them old flannin drawers that Maggie wore. They were tattered, they were torn around the waistline, they were worn. Them bloody flannin drawers that Maggie wore. That Maggie wore, that Maggie wore, that Maggie wore, that Maggie wore. Them old flannin drawers that Maggie wore. They were tattered, they were torn around the waistline, they were worn. Them bloody flannin drawers that Maggie wore. Well, she buried them in the ground, and the weeds for miles around refused to grow near Maggie's flannin drawers. They were tattered, they were torn around the waistline, they were worn. Them bloody flannin drawers that Maggie wore. 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 Them old flannin drawers that Maggie wore. They were tattered, they were torn around the waistline, they were worn. Them bloody flannin drawers that Maggie wore. They were tattered, they were torn around the waistline, they were worn. Them bloody flannin drawers that Maggie wore.
There's a mad craze around they call jogging. It's neither a run or a trot. There's people in tracksuits all over the place trying to get rid of their pot. There's bodies galore with big bellies from sitting round idle all day, and they think that's a jog in the evening will run all their fat flesh away. So here's to the men with big bellies, big belly. And here's to the girls with spare tires, spare tires. And here's to the people who spend their whole lives giving in to their deadly desires. Now the cause of this craze is inflation of bellies with the big pints of stout, with sugar and spice and everything nice. Instead of growing up, they're growing out, until the day comes when they're desperate to try and stop stuffing their face. So they go to the sports shop and buy all the gear, and off down the road they do race. So here's to the men with big bellies, big belly. And here's to the girls with spare tires, spare tires. And here's to the people who spend their whole lives giving in to their deadly desires. Now the women, they jog for their figures, and the men exercise to keep fit. But I spend me time in the public house, exercising and sharpening me wit. Sometimes on a warm summer's evening, I watch them out fighting the flab.
to watch those girls wobble all over the place. It's all I can do not to grab. So here's to the men with the big belly, and here's to the girls with spare tires, and here's to the people who spend their whole lives giving in to their deadly desires. Now a neighbour of mine started jogging. I watched him out through the pub door. This gallant young man, now the last time he ran was the year 1974. And I read of his death in the paper while eating me breakfast in bed. And I said, no big God, I don't think that I'll jog, for I'd rather be fat than be dead. So here's to the men with big belly, and here's to the girls with spare tires, and here's to the people who spend their whole lives giving in to their deadly desires. So here's to the men with big bellies, and here's to the girls with spare tires, and here's to the people who spend their whole lives giving in to their deadly desires.
There were three drunken maids, they came from the Isle of Wight. They started to drink on a Monday, never stopped till a Saturday night. But on Saturday in came the lads and still they wouldn't get out. Them three drunken maidens, they posed to jug about. Then in came bouncing Sally with her cheeks as red as bloom. Then move up me jolly sisters and give young Sally some room. And I will be your equal before this evening's out. Them three drunken maidens, they posed to jug about. They had woodcock and pheasant, they had partridge and pear, and every kind of dainty, no shortage there was there. They had 40 casks of beer, me lads, and still they wouldn't get out. Them three drunken maidens, they posed to jug about. Saturday in came the lads and still they wouldn't get out. Them three drunken maidens, they posed to jug about. There were three drunken maidens, they came from the Isle of Wight. They started to drink on a Monday, never stopped till a Saturday night. But on Saturday in came the lads and still they wouldn't get out. Them three drunken maidens, they posed to jug about. There were three drunken maidens, they came from the Isle of Wight. They started to drink on a Monday, never stopped till a Saturday night. But on Saturday in came the lads and still they wouldn't get out. Them three drunken maidens, they posed to jug about. There were three drunken maidens, they came from the Isle of Wight. They started to drink on a Monday, never stopped till a Saturday night. But on Saturday in came the lads and still they wouldn't get out. Them three drunken maidens, they posed to jug about.
the bedpoor porter. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter before she wrecks the house. My wife, she likes a large one. The wife, she likes a large one. She always takes a large one when they pour the whiskey out. We know she's longing for one. We know she's longing for one. To keep her calm, I give her one. She loves the old bottle stout. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter before she wrecks the house. We know she's going to get one. We know she's going to get one. To make her snore, she's sure to pour before the night is out. Her tempers start rising. Her tempers start rising. You'd run like hell, you can never tell the way that flows her mouth. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter before she wrecks the house. She drinks porter by the gallon. She drinks porter by the gallon. And when she sings, she starts to swing and pulls the blankets out. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter before she wrecks the house. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter. Give the woman in the bedpoor porter before she wrecks the house.
If ever you go on a railway train, man, don't look out the window pane. For I was in the carriage once and did it to my regret. This is what happened, you see. This old package, she says to me, would you look out the window and see if the train has started yet? So I looked out the window, me hat it blew away. Then I leant out to get it in an idiotic way. Me pants were tightened and bursted. The passenger sat behind. I see what a little short shirt you've got. You better pull down the blind. Then the other day I went on a railway train to Kent, and on the seat in front of me a lad and lassie sat. I felt rather out of place. I read the paper to hide me face. When the lad he kissed the girl, sure I could not stick that. So I looked out the window when they began to swoon. They were just like a couple starting on their honeymoon. Then the fella he said to me, would you ever be so kind? The sun is too hot for me, old stop. You better pull down the blind. Another night at 12 o'clock, well, I was given a hell of a shock. For there below in our backyard I heard a terrible row. The wife says it's the JCB band coming to drive us out of the land. And I says it's an earthquake, and I heard a faint meow meow. So I looked out the window, I spied a cat below. She was making queer arrangements with the ginger cat next door. I drowned him with water. Me wife says you're unkind. You done it yourself when you were young. You better pull down the blind. We live in a narrow street. Across the road is just 10 feet. When I looked out the window, I see into the house outside. So I looked out the window, I spied a bit of light. And there I sees this big fat dame retired for the night. For she took down her garments, and then she changed her mind. She was pulling them up and pulling them down, forgot to pull down the blind.
Ah, there's a new drug going around like a bug. It really is a wonder drug. It is so effective, the men are so active, you'd nearly be afraid to hug. People can't explain what goes on inside their brains, the sensation that it brings.
Help him.
But since it came along, you can't go too far wrong, for it's really put a stir on things. And it goes boom, bitty boom, bitty boom, bitty boom. I could pull a cow against the hill. I'm feeling mighty great with the wife I can relate since I took the Viagra pill. Now I met an old man, he said his race was wrong. He said he was 85. He said his wife was young and that she was highly strung. He'd lost that old sex drive. I took Viagra from my pocket, he took off like a rocket, and he turned back to me and said, I'm going home straight away, I won't even take the tea, for I must take my wife to bed. And we'll go boom, butty boom, bitty boom, bitty boom. I could pull a cow against the hill. I'm feeling mighty great with the wife I can relate since I took the Viagra pill. Sure, I met him 9 months later, and I swear to God the creature, he bought me 14 pints of stout. He said, you're one of my best friends, sure my wife's expecting twins, that Viagra sure helped me out. Oh, I didn't realise it could go to such a size and last for a solid hour. That Viagra is the stuff that could really call a bluff, and it souped up my old horsepower. And it goes boom, butty boom, bitty boom, bitty boom. I could pull a cow against the hill. I'm feeling mighty great with the wife I can relate since I took the Viagra pill. That Viagra is a cure, of that you can be sure, saving marriages all over the place. There's people going around and you lease of life to found, there's a happy smile upon their face. Sure, it happened to myself, I was left there on the shelf, for my old sex drive was nearly gone. And now I'm all as giddy when I see a bobber diddy, sure the handbrake is always on. And we'll go boom, bitty boom, bitty boom, bitty boom. I could pull a cow against the hill. I'm feeling mighty great with the wife I can relate since I took the Viagra pill. And we'll go boom, bitty boom, bitty boom, bitty boom. I could pull a cow against the hill. I'm feeling mighty great with the wife I can relate since I took the Viagra pill. Up you boy. Oh, it's great stuff. Oh.
Johnny, were you good at the riddles going to school?
I wasn't too bad, lad.
Right, listen to this. What goes up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all? What goes up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all?
I think I know now what it is. I know the answer of your quiz. Sure, that old thing is as old as sin. I think it's an egg inside of a hen.
No, Johnny, no. You're wrong. Listen to the old song, Johnny, listen. What goes up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all? What goes up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all?
I think this time I am in luck. I think it's an egg inside of a duck. Me granny told me all them rhymes years ago in the good old times.
No, Johnny, you're wrong again. Listen to it again. We'll give you another chance, lad. What goes up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all? What goes up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all?
That's queer hard, lad. Sing it again.
What goes up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all? What goes up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all? I think I'll have to give you a clue. With a job like this you'd have little to do. Just move around now and again.
Be japers, I think it's the councilmen.
Well done, Johnny. You're a good one.
They go up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all. They go up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all. They go up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all. They go up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all. They go up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all. They go up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all. Up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all. They go up the road and down the road, over the road and back the road, and never touches no part of the road at all.
Daughter, dearest daughter, there's a wake down in Kildare, and the lodger is sure to be there. You know he's tall and handsome, and you know he's tall and straight. Keep your legs together coming home from the wake. Mother, dearest mother, what an awful thing to say, to keep away from Fagin until me wedding day. He can kiss me and caress me, he can love me for me sake. I'll keep me legs together coming home from the wake. Mary reached the waking house, 'twas young and gay she felt. Fagin sat down by the fire and drank the dead man's health. Graham McCree was sad to see the poor man on the bed. A man no greater when alive, he's a fine man now he's dead. 4 o'clock next morning they came down the old body. She kept admiring Fagin, the best she'd ever seen. Temptation proved too much for her, she let him have his way. As Fagin says, the best of friends get parted every day. 9 months have been and gone since Fagin rang the bell. The anxious weeks have been like years for fear of any swell. Young and foolish though they were, of them I can't speak ill. There was no cause to fret, you see, 'cause Mary took the pill. I asked my woman, what could I do to keep her happy the whole night through? She said the only thing I want from you is a little bit of the big bamboo. She like a big bamboo, bamboo. Working for the Yankee dollar. I gave my woman some sugar cane, sweet for my sweet, I did explain. She gave it back to my surprise. She liked the flavor but not the size. She liked a big bamboo, bamboo. Working for the I gave my woman 2 big coconuts. She liked them both very, very well, but she gave them back and said to me, what good are your nuts without the tree? She like a big, big bamboo, bamboo. Aye, 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 aye. Working for the Yankee dollar. There was a Pakistani man who came to London town. He asked this woman down in Cricklewood town. She said, oh no, not for you, 'cause my old man, he got the big bamboo. She like a big, big bamboo, bamboo. Aye, 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 aye. Working for the Yankee dollar. There was a Chinaman called Dick Hung Lo. Got married and he went to live in Ballinishlow. His wife divorced him very, very quick. She liked bamboo, but not chopstick. She like a big, big bamboo, bamboo. Aye, 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 aye. Working for the Yankee dollar. The queer one likes an Englishman, a Russian, a Turkish or West Indian man. They all try to please her as best they can, but she'd rather have the crack with the paddy man. She like a big, big bamboo, bamboo. Aye, 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 aye. Working for the Yankee dollar. Aye, 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 aye. Working for the Yankee dollar. Early Friday morning I was cycling into town. The front wheel it was wobbling and the mudguard falling down. The 2 legs of me trousers were tied up with bits of twine, and a pension book was telling me a pint would soon be mine. How you Mr. Murphy, says the postal clerk to me. Not too bad, says I, for a man of 73. A fox came to me house last night and stole me only duck. Buy a lottery ticket, she says it might change your luck. I took the little girl's advice and I handed her £1. Outside I scratched a ticket with a penny I had found. Well, I nearly dropped me trousers and grew a head of hair when I realised I was a bloody millionaire. No more hay or turf to save, no more feeding calves. One kick from me big boat and the bike was in 2 halves. Well, I headed for the local, sure I was feeling great, and friends I never knew before came in to celebrate. Not long after that I had a new suit on me back, a new red car outside the door and a telephone on the rack. The wife was sporting a blonde wig where her grey head used to be, and the Wellington tracks had disappeared from just below her knee. I sat down admiring the new dress that she wore, a brand new set of teeth she got installed the day before. Well, I held her oh so tightly, like when I was a groom, and we looked rich and graceful as we waltzed around the room. 'Twas then I got an awful shock, I thought I'd nearly die. I spied me ugly missus as I opened up one eye. With colours in her old grey head, she nearly made me sick. Get up and milk the cows, she says, you raving lunatic. 'Cause then I realised that it was all a dream. The cows were mooing in the field and the cat was at the cream. Me bike was thrown in the hedge and me trousers had a shine. 'Twas lovely while it lasted, that winning dream of mine. 'Twas lovely while it lasted, that winning dream of mine.
Now Terence McFadden, he wanted to waltz, but his feet were not gauged that way. So he saw a professor and stated his case. Said he, sure I'm willing to pay. The professor looked down in alarm at his feet, and he viewed their enormous expanse. Then he tacked on a 5 to his regular price for teaching McFadden to dance. Oh, 1, 2, 3, balance like me. You're quite a dancer, but you have your faults. Your left foot is lazy, your right foot is crazy. But don't be an easy, I'll teach you to waltz. He took out McFadden before the whole class, and he showed him the steps once or twice. But McFadden's big feet got tied up in a knot. Sure, he thought he was standing on ice. At last he broke loose and struck out with the will, never looking behind or before. But his head got so dizzy he fell on his face and chewed half the wax off the floor. Oh, 1, 2, 3, balance like me. You're quite a dancer, but you have your faults. Your left foot is lazy, your right foot is crazy. But don't be an easy, and teach you to waltz. When Terence had practiced the steps once or twice, sure he thought he had put them down fine. He went to a girl and he asked her to dance, and wheeled her out into the line. He walked on her feet and he fractured her toes, and said that her movements were false. Sure, the poor girl went round for 2 weeks on a crutch for teaching McFadden to waltz. Oh, 1, 2, 3, balance like me. You're quite a dancer, but you have your faults. Your left foot is lazy, your right foot is crazy. But don't be a lazy, and teach you to waltz. 1, 2, 3, balance like me. You're quite a dancer, but you have your faults. Your left foot is lazy, your right foot is crazy. But don't be a lazy, and teach you to waltz.
It's hard being Irish. Nothing we do turns out right. I just bought a tie for my birthday. When I tried it on, it was too tight. I bought me a suit in Burton's last week. The outfit, it cost me a packet. The suit that I bought, it had 2 pairs of pants, and I burnt the hole in the jacket. My brother, he's back in Ireland, and he's very fond of a jar. He had his toes amputated so he could stand near the bar. He ordered a pint of lager and lime. The barman, called Paddy McGee, he said, how much lime would you like in your glass? And he told him 2 shovelfuls, please. Oh Lord, it's hard being Irish. Everyone thinks that we're thick. Our names are so easy remembered, 'cause every Tom, Dick and Harry's called Mick. My brother, he had an old racehorse. Every time it went racing, it fell. Its last race it finished at 5-2, but it started at 12:15. Murphy and Casey are agents. They broke into a bookie's last week, and before the police could arrest them, they lost a $5 each. Now what's your address, they asked Murphy. He said, no fixed a boat, with a grin. And where do you live, they asked Casey. Sure, I live in the flat above him. Oh Lord, it's hard being Irish. At school it was like being in hell. The teacher asked difficult questions, and the answers I never could tell. She asked me once, where was Hadrian's Wall? Says I to her, begging your pardon, I think it's obvious that Hadrian's Wall is all around Hadrian's garden. Now not all us Irish are stupid, for the jokes are all part of the racket. Don't think we're daft, 'cause each time you laugh, the Irish are making a packet. Well, Mary Lou, I'm calling you upon the telephone to thank you for coming to the dance last night and letting me take you home. I'm sorry I acted so nervous, I started to stammer and sweat. Well, it happened as soon as I saw your face, and I haven't got over it yet. Well, I stared at your great big beautiful big blue eyes, and I wondered if you'd scrutinized all the guys. You smiled at me, I nearly shot right out the door, for I've never seen such pretty little teeth like that before. Well, I wasn't always shy like this, I've been out with other girls, and I kissed them on the back doorstep, and I let them see my pearls. When I saw you last night at the farmer's ball, I become such a stuttering bum, I can hardly speak at all. Well, my collar got awful tight when I feel you close to me, just like I did last night. Well, I get a funny feeling in my brain, and I just can't move, and I can't wait to see you again. Well, I stared at your great big beautiful big blue eyes, and I wonder if you'd scrutinized all the guys. You smiled at me, I nearly shot right out the door, for I'd never seen such pretty little teeth like that before. She said she'd go out Saturday, so I hung up the phone. My tongue is back to normal now, I'm once more all alone. Well, the next time that I see her will be Saturday night around 10, and you can bet your bottom dollar I'll be a stuttering mom again. Well, I'll grab her by the arm and push her inside,
And I'll take my courage in both hands and ask her to be my bride. And if she holds my clammy hands and said she would, well, I'll forget about the past now, cover myself for good. Well, I stared at your big beautiful big blue eyes, and I wonder if you scrutinized all the guys. You smiled at me, I nearly shut right out the door. For I'd never seen such pretty little teeth like that before. No, I'd never seen such pretty little teeth like that